Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with an urgent truth to share. Many of us spend our lives pouring into others, offering our time, energy, and resources in the name of kindness and support. But I want to bring to your attention that not everyone is deserving of your help. In fact, there are certain types of people you must never assist for the sake of your own growth, peace, and prosperity. When we think about offering help to others, we often view it as an act of kindness, generosity, or compassion. But if we take a deeper look, we'll realize that help is not simply a favor, it's an investment. Every time we choose to extend ourselves to someone in need, we're giving away more than just our time. We're sharing our energy, our resources, and our life force. The way we choose to use this valuable asset determines how we're shaping not only the lives of others, but our own lives as well. The truth is, not everyone will appreciate this offering, and not everyone is worthy of your time and effort. That's why it's critical to understand the power of your help and to discern who truly deserves it. When we help someone, we're not just passing along a resource. We're sharing a part of ourselves. Think of it this way. Each moment you spend helping someone else could have been spent investing in your own growth, dreams, and ambitions. Every resource you give could have been used for your own development or for someone who would use it wisely. But here's the harsh reality. Some people won't value what you give them. In fact, some people may take it, drain it, and walk away without ever showing gratitude or using it to better themselves. When that happens, not only have you given away your time, but you've also allowed someone to steal your energy and potential. It's like pouring water into a leaky bucket, watching it spill out without ever serving its intended purpose. This is where the importance of discernment comes in. Discernment is the ability to perceive the true nature of a situation or person, and it allows you to make informed decisions about where and how to direct your efforts. Discernment means being able to see beyond the surface, to recognize who genuinely needs help and who is merely using you as a stepping stone. There are people in this world who will take from you without a second thought. They will drain you, leaving you empty, while they remain unchanged. These individuals don't want to grow or improve. They want to remain in their comfort zone, and your help only enables their stagnation. By offering your help without discernment, you are feeding into a cycle of dependency and helplessness that keeps them trapped in their current state. The power of your help lies in how wisely you offer it. When you recognize that your help is an investment, you begin to treat it with the respect it deserves. Helping others should be about fostering growth, both in them and in yourself. Your help should challenge others to rise up, to make use of what they've been given, and to take responsibility for their own lives. If you're helping someone who has no intention of taking responsibility for their actions or working toward a solution, you're doing them a disservice. Instead of empowering them, you're enabling their passivity. It's important to realize that the act of helping is not about fixing someone's problems for them. It's not about carrying their burdens or making their life easy at your own expense. The true essence of helping others is about guiding them towards self-sufficiency, encouraging them to tap into their own potential, and helping them find solutions for themselves. If someone is unwilling to help themselves, your assistance will only prolong their dependence on you. There's a fine line between offering help and creating a pattern of unhealthy dependency. True help is about inspiring others to take responsibility for their lives and their actions. It's about empowering them to rise, not about keeping them in a state of helplessness. When you extend help to others, you must always ask yourself, will this person appreciate my help and use it wisely? Or will they misuse it and continue to expect me to provide for them indefinitely? This question will allow you to determine if your help is a blessing or a burden. Some people will come to you only when they need something, but once they've received what they want, they'll vanish until the next time they're in need. Others will keep coming back without offering anything in return, never once considering that true help requires reciprocity and mutual respect. You must learn to recognize these patterns and protect yourself from becoming a perpetual source of supply for those who refuse to change or grow. But even more than that, you must protect your energy and time because they are finite resources. You cannot afford to waste them on people who have no intention of changing or growing. When you help the right people, you'll find that your efforts are reciprocated, not necessarily in the form of material return, but in gratitude, respect, and growth. Helping others should always feel like a two-way street, where both parties gain from the experience. The person receiving help should grow, and you too should feel enriched by your contribution. That's when you know you've offered your help to someone worthy of it. As you reflect on the importance of the help you offer, remember that your help is an investment. It's not just an act of charity or generosity. It's a way of planting seeds in the lives of others, seeds that have the potential to grow into something greater. But not all soil is fertile, and not all seeds will bear fruit. You must learn to choose where and to whom you give your help. When you offer your assistance wisely, you help create a world where people are empowered, uplifted, and encouraged to rise to their potential, rather than a world where people stay stuck, waiting for someone else to fix their problems. Be wise with your help, and never forget that your time, energy, and resources are valuable. Protect them by offering them only to those who truly deserve it. Life operates on the fundamental principle of give and take. This law of reciprocity governs the interactions we have with others, whether we realize it or not. The world is built on relationships that function best when both parties contribute to one another's well-being. If you give without receiving anything in return, whether it's help, kindness, or support, you will eventually find yourself drained, exhausted, and unfulfilled. This is the importance of the law of reciprocity. It ensures that your help is not one-sided and that your efforts are balanced by a return of value either in the moment or at some point in the future. When we help others, we're investing in their lives, offering them something that can move them forward. But if you continually give without any acknowledgement, support, or appreciation, the energy you're expending will begin to take its toll. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that kindness should be unconditional, and while compassion is essential, there must always be an understanding that relationships should be mutually enriching. Constantly giving with no return, whether emotional, mental, or physical, can leave you feeling empty. You may feel taken advantage of. And over time, you'll lose the passion to help others altogether. The law of reciprocity doesn't always require an immediate or equal exchange, but there must be an understanding that the energy you put out into the world is not without value. Help should be reciprocal, not just in tangible terms, but also in terms of respect, gratitude, or growth. Sometimes the person you help may not be able to offer anything back to you right away. That's fine, as long as the relationship is not built solely on you giving and them taking. They may return the favor at another time or in a different way, but the understanding is clear. Helping isn't one way. The give and take is part of a larger cycle that nurtures both people. This reciprocity also serves as a protective mechanism against exploitation. When you continuously help people who only take and never give, you allow yourself to become a source of support for those who may never have any intention of helping you back. Some people will take advantage of your kindness, and they may never offer anything in return. Over time, you will feel depleted, as you're not receiving the emotional or spiritual benefits that come from helping those who are genuinely grateful and willing to contribute in some way. It's crucial, therefore, to choose who you help carefully, considering not only their needs, but also how they contribute to your life, growth, and well-being. Moreover, the law of reciprocity is not just about what you receive in return. It's about the quality of the exchange. When you help someone who appreciates it and values your contribution, the energy flows both ways. Your assistance to them may inspire them to change, to grow, or to take positive action in their own lives, which, in turn, enriches your life. This mutual exchange creates a bond that lifts both individuals, nurturing a sense of shared purpose and growth. True help is not about keeping score, but it's about creating a dynamic that fosters mutual respect, growth, and encouragement. The law of reciprocity ensures that relationships don't become unbalanced, where one person is constantly giving and the other is constantly taking. You have to ask yourself, is this relationship helping me grow, or is it leaving me empty? This principle isn't about expecting a return for every act of kindness. It's about recognizing that in healthy reciprocal relationships, there's an underlying balance that sustains both people. It's about knowing that your efforts and resources, whether it's your time, energy, or skills, have value. If you're not receiving anything of value in return, it's important to consider whether the relationship is truly enriching or if it's an energy drain. In essence, the law of reciprocity ensures that your help is not one-sided. It helps you focus on building relationships where both people benefit, whether that benefit comes immediately or over time. This creates a healthy exchange where your assistance contributes to the growth of others, but also to your own growth and fulfillment. As you offer help, remember that life works best when we give and receive in balance. When both sides contribute to each other's well-being, the connection is strengthened and everyone involved becomes better, stronger, and more capable. And it's in these relationships that the true value of help is realized. Not just as a one-time gesture, but as a lasting investment that nurtures and enriches both parties. Boundaries are not barriers, they are essential guidelines that protect our energy, time, and resources. In life, boundaries help define who we are and how we interact with others. They set the limits for how much we give and how much we allow others to take. Without boundaries, we risk becoming vulnerable to exploitation. We open ourselves up to people who will take advantage of our kindness, our time, and our resources, often without considering our well-being. Boundaries serve as a form of self-preservation, ensuring that our energy remains intact and that we are not drained by those who only seek to benefit from our generosity. Understanding boundaries is not just about protecting ourselves from harm, it's about creating an environment where healthy relationships can thrive. A relationship, whether personal or professional, is only sustainable when both parties respect each other's space, time, and needs. Boundaries allow us to maintain our sense of self and ensure that we can continue to help others without feeling depleted or resentful. They are an invisible yet powerful force that allows us to be our best selves while still giving to others in a way that is meaningful and sustainable. People who don't respect boundaries can be incredibly draining. They are often the ones who will constantly push you to give more, do more, and sacrifice more without ever considering your limits. These individuals may appear to be in need, and your instinct may be to help, but over time, you will find that they continuously take from you without ever giving anything in return. They don't recognize your right to say no, and they don't acknowledge that you have needs, limits, or desires of your own. These people can exploit your generosity, leaving you exhausted, overwhelmed, and sometimes even bitter. The problem is not that you are helping, but that you're helping in a way that enables unhealthy dynamics to flourish. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you protect yourself from exploitation. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being unkind. They are about teaching others how to treat you. They are about showing that you are worthy of respect, that your time and energy are valuable, and that you cannot give endlessly without regard for your own well-being. When you make it clear that there are limits to what you can offer, you communicate to others that you value yourself and that your help comes with conditions that ensure mutual respect. For some, setting boundaries may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if they are used to being the one who constantly gives and sacrifices for others. But the truth is, boundaries are an act of self-love and self-care. They allow you to maintain your emotional, mental, and physical health, which is essential if you are to continue helping others in a sustainable way. If you deplete yourself without boundaries, you will eventually have nothing left to give, and that is not beneficial to anyone. Boundaries also play a significant role in how we avoid toxic relationships. Some people are drawn to those who lack boundaries because they know that such individuals are easy to manipulate. They will take advantage of you, pulling you in deeper and deeper, until you've given all that you have to offer. These toxic individuals thrive on the absence of boundaries because they can exploit you without consequence. By recognizing the importance of boundaries, you can avoid falling into these unhealthy, draining relationships. You can establish guidelines that protect your energy and ensure that you are not being used. It's also important to understand that maintaining boundaries is not a one-time action, it's an ongoing process. You must regularly evaluate the relationships in your life to ensure that your boundaries are being respected. If someone consistently crosses those boundaries, it may be time to reassess the relationship and consider whether it is serving your well-being. Boundaries can be flexible and adaptable, but they must always be in place to protect your sense of self and to allow you to maintain healthy, balanced interactions with others. When you respect your own boundaries, you teach others to respect them as well. You show that you are not available to be exploited, that you have limits, and that your well-being is important. Over time, people will learn to approach you with respect and consideration, understanding that any help you offer is a valuable exchange that requires mutual regard. By setting clear boundaries, you can help others without losing yourself in the process. In conclusion, boundaries are not just about protecting your time and energy. They are a form of self-respect. They allow you to give help in a way that is sustainable, balanced, and healthy. Without boundaries, you open yourself up to being drained and exploited. But with strong, clear boundaries in place, you create space for healthy, reciprocal relationships where both parties can thrive. Remember, the power of boundaries is not about saying no to others. It's about saying yes to yourself. One of the greatest misconceptions we often carry is the belief that we can help someone to the point where they will change. We are driven by the desire to see others grow, improve, and overcome their challenges. We invest our time, energy, and resources into people, hoping that our help will spark transformation. But the truth is, not everyone wants to change. And some people are not ready to break free from their current circumstances. In fact, some will actively resist change, preferring the comfort of their current situation, even if it means remaining stuck in unhealthy patterns or negative behaviors. This is one of the most important lessons to learn when it comes to offering help. You cannot change everyone. When we step into the role of the helper, we often forget that change is a deeply personal journey. Change requires a person's willingness to grow, to confront their own flaws, and to make the effort to improve their circumstances. It is not something that can be imposed from the outside. No matter how much we care for someone or how hard we try to influence them, real change must come from within. If the individual does not have the internal desire to change, all of your efforts will be in vain, and you will find yourself endlessly pouring energy into a situation that is not progressing. Some people seek help not because they want to change, but because they are looking for a way to remain in their comfort zone without confronting the issues that hold them back. They may turn to you for assistance because they know you will help them avoid the discomfort of growth. They may not want to face their own responsibilities or take ownership of their lives, and instead, they rely on you to take on their burdens. By doing so, they continue to bypass the difficult but necessary work of personal development. This cycle of seeking help without true desire for change only enables their stagnation. When you assist someone who is not committed to changing, you are not lifting them up. You are keeping them in the same place. You may think that by providing them with solutions, resources, or support, you are helping them, but in reality, you are allowing them to remain stuck. You become a crutch that they lean on, and instead of empowering them to rise, you prevent them from ever learning how to stand on their own. This kind of assistance is not constructive. It is enabling. The person remains trapped in their comfort zone, never forced to confront the underlying issues that need to be addressed. Helping people who don't want to change can also be emotionally draining. You invest your time, offer your advice, and extend your support, but nothing ever seems to improve. After a while, this can leave you feeling frustrated, disillusioned, and even resentful. It's important to recognize that no matter how much you want to help someone, you cannot do the work for them. Change is a choice that each person must make for themselves. And if they are not ready to make that choice, your efforts will have little impact. The hardest part of this realization is letting go. It can be difficult to accept that some people are not ready to change, no matter how much they need it or how much potential they have. But by holding on to the idea that you can change someone, you only delay their personal growth, and yours as well. Sometimes the best way to help someone is to step back and allow them to confront their own challenges, even if it means they may fall or struggle along the way. It is through those struggles that growth occurs. By constantly stepping into fix things for them, you rob them of the opportunity to learn from their experiences. The key here is recognizing that there are people who will only change when they are ready. You cannot push them, pull them, or convince them to change before they are willing to do the work themselves. It is not your responsibility to carry their burdens indefinitely or to force a transformation that they are not ready to undergo. In some cases, it's more compassionate to allow them to come to their own realization rather than trying to do it for them. The lesson here is clear. You cannot change everyone. The best thing you can do is to offer your help when it is truly wanted and when the person is open to making a change. If they are not ready to make that commitment, your assistance will not lead to long-term transformation. In these cases, it is important to accept that you have done your part and to redirect your energy toward those who are ready and willing to grow. Helping someone who has no desire to change is not helping them at all. It is merely prolonging their stagnation. In conclusion, while we all have the desire to make a positive impact on the lives of others, we must recognize that real change only happens when a person is ready and willing to put in the work. Our role is not to force change upon others, but to provide support and encouragement for those who are actively seeking to transform their lives. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is to step aside and allow them the space to make that decision for themselves. One of the most powerful lessons we can learn in life is that true empowerment comes from within. The value of self-sufficiency cannot be overstated, and it is something that every person must cultivate for themselves. When you help someone who refuses to help themselves, you are not fostering growth. You are enabling stagnation. There are individuals who rely solely on others for their needs, whether it's emotional, financial, or psychological, and this dependency prevents them from developing the skills, resilience, and independence required to stand on their own. Helping others is an act of kindness and compassion, but there is a fine line between offering assistance and creating a pattern of dependency. When you continually provide for someone who is capable of helping themselves but chooses not to, you are not truly helping them. Instead, you are prolonging their inability to take responsibility for their own life and actions. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you are doing good by offering your support, but in reality, this kind of help can hinder their growth and prevent them from becoming the person they are meant to be. It is crucial to recognize that your role is not to make others dependent on you, but to foster their ability to be self-sufficient and independent. Self-sufficiency is the foundation of personal empowerment. When a person is self-sufficient, they are not constantly looking to others for validation, support, or solutions to their problems. They take ownership of their life and are able to solve their own problems, make their own decisions, and take action to improve their circumstances. This doesn't mean they never need help. Everyone can benefit from support at times. But self-sufficiency means that the person knows how to stand on their own when it matters most, and they are capable of using their own resources, skills, and determination to navigate life's challenges. Helping someone develop self-sufficiency requires a different approach than simply solving their problems for them. It's about encouraging them to take responsibility for their own actions and decisions. It's about empowering them to think critically, to develop problem-solving skills, and to take steps toward independence. Your role in this process is not to offer all the answers or to bear their burdens for them, but to guide them toward the realization that they have the ability to help themselves. By doing so, you are fostering their growth and helping them build the confidence they need to stand on their own. When you help someone who refuses to help themselves, you create a cycle of dependency. They may come to rely on you for everything, from emotional support to financial assistance, and they may never feel the need to take action on their own. In these situations, the person is not growing. They are not developing the tools they need to succeed independently, and they may even begin to feel helpless or powerless. The more you give without encouraging them to take responsibility, the deeper they fall into a state of dependency, and the less likely they are to break free from it. This is not to say that you should turn your back on people who need help. There is a significant difference between providing help and enabling dependency. True assistance helps others find their own way rather than doing the work for them. It's about teaching them how to fish rather than just giving them the fish. It's about empowering them to face their challenges head on and to take the necessary steps to create the life they want. If you are always the one to solve their problems, you deprive them of the opportunity to learn and grow through their own efforts. In order to help others develop self-sufficiency, you must set clear boundaries and be willing to step back when necessary. Sometimes, the best way to help someone is to give them the space to figure things out for themselves. It may be uncomfortable for both you and them, but this discomfort is necessary for growth. By allowing others to face their own challenges, you are giving them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, to develop resilience, and to discover their own strengths. This is the essence of empowerment, the ability to navigate life's difficulties with confidence and self-reliance. In your relationships, it's important to ask yourself whether you are fostering self-sufficiency or enabling dependency. Are you helping someone become more capable, confident, and independent, or are you simply doing everything for them? True empowerment comes when people are able to stand on their own 2 feet, take responsibility for their actions, and make decisions that lead them toward their goals. Your role should always be to support that journey, not to take it over for them. Ultimately, the value of self-sufficiency lies in the freedom it brings. When people are self-sufficient, they are no longer bound by the need for constant assistance. They become more resilient, more capable, and more fulfilled. They are able to take ownership of their lives and create the future they desire. As you offer help, always remember that the greatest gift you can give someone is not solving their problems for them, but empowering them to solve their own. By fostering self-sufficiency, you are enabling them to live their lives with strength, confidence, and independence. Qualities that will serve them far beyond your help. The pitfall of toxic dependency is one of the most insidious traps you can fall into when offering help. There are individuals who, over time, become so reliant on your assistance that they lose the ability or even the desire to function independently. Initially, helping these people may seem like an act of compassion or kindness, but what often happens is that this dependence gradually morphs into something much more harmful, a toxic dynamic. Dependency breeds resentment, bitterness, and emotional manipulation. And while your help might offer temporary relief, it does little to address the deeper issues at play, and it can prevent true healing or progress. Toxic dependency is a destructive cycle. When someone becomes dependent on you for their emotional, financial, or psychological needs, they begin to lose the ability to cope with life's challenges on their own. Instead of learning to solve their own problems, they turn to you for support and reassurance, continually leaning on you to fill the gaps in their life. At first, you may feel honored to help, but over time, you may start to feel drained, frustrated, and even resentful. Why? Because dependency doesn't create growth. It creates an ongoing need for more help, often without any effort to break free from the reliance you've inadvertently fostered. What makes toxic dependency so damaging is that it creates an imbalance in the relationship. The person who is dependent on you no longer sees you as an equal partner. They begin to view you as a resource, someone to take from, not someone with their own needs and limitations. You become their safety net, and they begin to take advantage of your kindness and support without offering anything in return. This one-sided dynamic can breed bitterness on both sides. You may begin to feel unappreciated or taken for granted, while the dependent individual might develop a sense of entitlement, believing that they are owed your help and support without ever having to reciprocate. Over time, the relationship becomes more about what they can extract from you, rather than about mutual respect and growth. In such toxic relationships, emotional manipulation often plays a role. People who are dependent on others may resort to guilt-tripping, playing on your emotions to get you to give more, do more, or sacrifice more than you are willing to. They may make you feel responsible for their well-being, creating a sense of obligation in you that forces you to keep helping, even when it no longer feels healthy or sustainable. This emotional manipulation can be subtle at first, but over time it chips away at your boundaries and leaves you feeling obligated to continue providing, even when you know deep down that it's not in either of your best interests. The real tragedy of toxic dependency is that it prevents true healing or progress from taking place. When you are continually rescuing someone from their problems, They never have the opportunity to face their challenges head-on and grow from them. True healing and personal development occur when individuals are given the chance to confront their own issues, make mistakes, and learn from their experiences. But when someone is constantly being bailed out, they are never forced to take responsibility for their actions or to seek the solutions that will lead to lasting change. You may feel like you are helping them by providing temporary relief, but you are ultimately hindering their ability to heal and grow. You are creating a cycle of dependence that keeps them stuck in their current state, without offering a path to true transformation. Moreover, toxic dependency often leads to a lack of appreciation or gratitude. As the dependent individual becomes more accustomed to relying on you, they begin to expect your help rather than feeling thankful for it. The more you give, the more they take, and the less they value your contributions. In many cases, they may even begin to take you for granted, assuming that you will always be there to provide for them. This creates a sense of entitlement, and instead of viewing your help as a gift, they see it as something owed to them. This lack of appreciation only intensifies the resentment and bitterness that can build up over time. The emotional toll of toxic dependency is not just on the person being depended on, but also on the person offering the help. You may begin to feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and resentful. You may lose sight of your own needs, constantly prioritizing someone else's well-being at the expense of your own. Over time, this can lead to burnout, frustration, and emotional fatigue. In some cases, you may even begin to question whether your help is truly making a difference, or if it's simply enabling the person to remain stuck in a cycle of dependency. The solution to this problem is not to stop helping others entirely, but to recognize when your help is fostering toxic dependency rather than genuine growth. Helping others is important, but you must be able to discern when your assistance is no longer constructive and is instead keeping someone trapped in a state of stagnation. Setting boundaries, encouraging independence, and helping others develop the skills and resources they need to stand on their own are crucial in avoiding toxic dependency. It's important to recognize that true help is not about constantly rescuing someone. It's about empowering them to rise up and face their challenges with strength and resilience. In conclusion, while the desire to help others is admirable, it's crucial to recognize the dangers of toxic dependency. When you constantly provide for someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life, you inadvertently foster a cycle of emotional manipulation, resentment, and stagnation. True healing and growth can only happen when individuals are empowered to face their challenges and learn to stand on their own. By setting healthy boundaries and encouraging self-sufficiency, you can help others in a way that promotes long-term growth and independence, rather than perpetuating toxic dependence. In conclusion, the power to help others is a gift that must be wielded with wisdom and discernment. We must understand that our help is not just an offering, but an investment of our time, energy, and resources. It is an act of stewardship, and as stewards, we are called to invest wisely, ensuring that our efforts lead to growth, empowerment, and transformation, not to stagnation, manipulation, or dependency. There is a law in life that we must embrace. True empowerment comes from within. Our role is not to carry others indefinitely, but to teach them how to carry themselves. We are not here to make people dependent on us. We are here to help them discover their own strength, wisdom, and resilience. Our help must be the catalyst that ignites change, not the crutch that prolongs the need for it. We must be mindful of those who refuse to help themselves, who seek only to drain from us without ever striving to stand on their own. Helping these individuals, while seemingly noble, can often be a disservice to both them and ourselves. The true measure of a person's worth is not how much help they receive, but how much they are willing to grow through their own efforts. And we must be wary of toxic dependency. When we enable others to remain in a state of stagnation, we not only rob them of their opportunity to grow, but we also risk damaging the relationship itself. True help creates independence, it creates self-sufficiency, and it creates a path toward personal victory. We are not meant to be perpetual saviors. We are meant to be catalysts for change. mentors who guide others toward their own greatness. So, let us be wise in the way we give. Let us invest in people who are ready to rise, who seek not just a handout but a hand up. Let us offer help that nurtures growth, empowers independence, and transforms lives for the better. And above all, let us remember that the highest form of help is not in doing for others what they can do for themselves, but in empowering them to stand on their own, to rise in their own strength, and to fulfill their own purpose. When we understand these principles, we will not only help others, but we will also help ourselves. We will become the true stewards of the power of help, and in doing so, we will elevate the lives of those we touch, and we will elevate our own.